ladies, welcome to another episode of Straight Talk New York. I am your host, Eris Senior. Today we're thrilled to have Anu Balogun join us from London, United Kingdom. Anu is a visionary author, speaker, and a transformation catalyst who has dedicated her life to helping people discover their purpose and live intentionally. As the founder of the Intentional Living Tribe, she empowers individuals, especially women, to build boldly and achieve economic empowerment and evolve personally. Anu's passion for helping others step into their full potential is inspiring, and that's one of the reasons why we are excited to have her here to share our insights and expertise today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anu Balogun. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. So good to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Knowing how much you love empowering women, how much you preach about intentionality, and in life, if you must succeed, you must be very intentional. So please, can you tell us about your journey and what inspired you to start the Intentional Living Tribe community?
Once again, thank you for having me. I'm Anu Balogun, and I am the founder of the Intentional Living Tribe. And my journey, I must say, not one I chose. It came to me as a result of me being intentional. So sometimes last year, I found myself using the word intentional a bit too much. Like everything I did. And to tell you what, to cooking, whenever I find myself cooking and I'm trying to just, cut corners, there's something in me that just says, you know what, you have to be intentional about this thing you're cooking. You're the one eating it. And, so I just, it was just something that was part of me. It didn't stop there. So I had a friend who found me like a confidant that he could share things with. And whenever he called to share anything with me, one word stood out in our conversation: intentional. Everything I always say to him is about being intentional. This person started the year with almost nothing to show forth. By November that same year, this person was getting a car just by being intentional. And it stuck with me like, wow. I was so proud of the person and I was proud of myself because I know that I was part of that success. I pushed him to be intentional. So that same day, he shared the news of him getting a car with me. Coincidentally, a friend was having marital issues, and so I jumped on a call with my friend. We spoke for like an hour. I spoke for like an hour. She didn't even say anything. She just kept quiet and I was listening. And all I was saying is, there's nothing wrong with your marriage. You just have to be intentional about it. And I kept saying this word. To be very honest, I know what it means to be intentional, but I didn't know like the deep meaning of intentionality. I was just saying it and I preached it to people around me just for them to use to achieve better results. After that conversation with my friend, she was like, everything you said is so inspiring. Thank you for making me see from a different perspective. I couldn't sleep that day because of the fact that a friend had gotten a car that I inspired. I spoke to my friend that was having the marital issues and she left fulfilled after that conversation. So that left me with, I can't explain it. Like the excitement was too much because of the kind of person I am. I always like to question my emotions and question my feelings. I just don't let things slide. Be it sad, be it happy. If I find myself a bit too sad or a bit too unhappy, I would ask, what's wrong with you? Why do you feel this way? What triggered this emotion? Can we discuss it? Can we have conversations about it? So I have conversations with myself a lot. The same thing happened with this excitement. I was like, what's wrong? Like, why are you this excited? All these things that happened did not happen for you. So why are you overly joyful? Things are happening for people and you're so excited. It was from that moment I got handed my assignment in life. It was from that moment. Like the Holy Spirit stepped in and said, you just unlocked your purpose. I have never been in that space. It was clear. There was no atom of doubt or confusion in what I heard clearly. You just unlocked your purpose in life. And this is what will give you the most joy. Now, you need to open a YouTube channel and start talking to people about being intentional and how they can live their life based on intention and how they can use intention to achieve great things in life. And I'm like, what just happened here? Like, right from that moment, I thought to myself, me, open a YouTube channel, no way. I don't even have that time. I get it. I want to see people, like I want to see women step into their power. I want to see them do well. I want to see people achieve great things. But right now, I don't think this is the best time for me to open a YouTube channel because, to be very honest, I don't even know how to open a YouTube channel. Like, I didn't know how to go about it, to be very honest. So I'm like, Where do you want me to start from? Who would listen to me? Like, people have aversion to authority. They don't like people talking to them. They don't even like to listen to people. And that's why they don't listen to God. Because I say it's the same way you treat your fellow humans, that is the same way you treat God. If you are not attentive to what people say to you, if you are not intentional about listening to other people, when God is speaking to you, you would not be attentive. People don't know, they do this unconsciously. So I don't think I have the time to start convincing people to do better. Let everybody be living their life the way they choose to. But I kid you not, I did not have rest all through that week. It was like there was no sleep for the stubborn. And the Holy Spirit kept chasing me like, this is your purpose. This is what you have to do in life. In the course of us going back and forth, the Holy Spirit said, if your earthly teacher gives you an assignment and you don't do it, you know the repercussion and you know the reward. You didn't tell me it was God talking to me, like telling me to do this. I thought I was making it up in my head. You know, sometimes when you think you're just making things up in your head, it was from that moment I grabbed a book and a pen and I wrote all the instructions I got. So apparently I'd gotten like to open a YouTube channel, to write a book, to do a few other things, and I wrote them down. And I started with obedience and diligence, and that is how Intentional Living Tribe came to be. So mine is not a calling, mine is an assignment, because I heard clearly it's an assignment. I didn't even understand what assignment meant then until I came online and I started hearing people talk about it. And I'm like, wait, does God really hand out assignments? I didn't know like God hands out, he gives assignments to people. So that gave me so much clarity that, okay, there's a difference between calling and an assignment. So mine is an assignment. And here we are today, the Intentional Living Tribe.
Amazing, inspiring, and motivating to say. The thing about being a believer is sometimes we're not even sensitive enough to know what is an assignment for us. So it's funny how you had these experiences which other people may probably dismiss, but you were able to understand that these are not just experiences. There is a message from this. So that connection alone to God is as a result of how sensitive you are spiritually. These things happen almost all the time to us and we don't even know. There are people working the earth that have been handed assignments and they don't even know that they've been handed assignments. Now, just as you mentioned, part of your work focuses on unlocking one's inner power. Could you explain? Because there are people that when you tell them unlock your inner power, they're like, I don't understand. They're clueless, right? So could you explain what unlocking the power within means to you?
It means that everything you need is already in you. Everything you need in life is in you. And you just have to discover it, develop it, and deploy it to the world.
So it's a journey of self-discovery.
I call it unlocking your unique serving purpose, because everyone has a purpose in life. Like, God did not create anyone without a purpose. You have to be able to discover that purpose, develop yourself for that purpose, and deploy yourself in that purpose. Now, the book I wrote, The Hidden Secret of Wealth, that book is a testimony. God used that book for so many things. He used it to unlock wealth. He used it to unlock purpose. He used it to unlock relationship with Him. If you are able to read The Hidden Secret of Wealth, you will not only unlock your unique serving purpose in life, you will not only unlock generational wealth, you will not only have a relationship with God, you will live life fulfilled and you will call yourself a success. So unlocking the power within you is the ultimate thing you can do in life. And that is what will give you the most fulfillment in life. Everything you need is inside of you. And you have to start by taking inventory of the gifts you already have. It's not that you have to start looking outward or you start searching. Your inner power is not what you search for. It is not what you look outward for. It is what you look inward for. Like, it is what is already inside of you that you just have to tap into to give you that.
It's about discovering what gifts you have that is deposited in you by God.
The moment you unlock the power within you, you unlock the floodgates of heaven.
And that's where you birth so many things that you never imagined you could do. This question also brings us to this place of understanding that when you unlock the power within you, it has a direct way of giving you self-awareness. You become so aware of who you are what you're capable of. You know your weaknesses, you know your strength, and you build on your strength. In your opinion, what are the first steps? We're talking about very first steps someone should take to shift their perspective and redefine their life.
Another good question. And isn't it fascinating to you that you just answered that question? You just answered that question. Like you saw me doing this. The first step is awareness. That is the key to transformation. The first step is awareness. You have to become aware. Someone will want to ask, awareness of what? Awareness of who you are, awareness of whose you are, and awareness of what you carry. If you are able to become aware of these three aspects, I mean, you will walk on earth like you own it. I mean, the answer is just awareness. You just have to stay in constant awareness of who you are. And a lot of people miss it. Like, majority of people don't even know who they are.
Some people have no clue
Oh
who they
no,
are.
a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know who they are. So if you ask people like, "Who are you?" the first thing they will tell you their name, their age, what they've achieved in life, all the things they've done, and all whatnot. But that is not really who you are. Like that is not who you are. You are not any of those things. Like you need to understand who you are as a being.
Those are things that are given to you by society. Your name is given to you by society. Your position is given to you
like
by
this.
society.
So the name you came on here, you came on earth to get the name you call yourself now. You should understand first that you are a spirit being that has a soul that is living in a body. So you need to connect to that spirit being. You need to connect to that soul and let your body carry out the activities. That is awareness of who you are. Now, the awareness of whose you are, you need to know that you didn't create yourself. You didn't just appear on earth. A lot of people think, oh, because they belong to this clan or they belong to this family, that means that they are of that family. So majority of people that come from a poor background would associate that background to themselves. They would associate that, that lowness to themselves, not knowing that that is not your background. You were created in God's image. You're supposed to live as a reflection of God on earth. So because a lot of people don't even know who God is, they can't step into the awareness of whose they are. Now, because you don't know whose you are, you cannot become aware of what you carry. If you start from knowing who you are, whose you are, and what you carry, you unlock the power within you.
Thank you for that insight. In life, resilience is very crucial, especially in today's world. What are some strategies you recommend for cultivating a mindset that fosters resilience?
Resilience, like people think, they think it's about being strong. So you need to understand that resilience is not about being strong. It is about being anchored. And it is who you are anchored on.
Oh my God, that's profound.
On.
Resilience is not about being strong. It's about being anchored.
So who you are anchored on determines your level of resilience. It determines how you show up with so much resilience. If you anchor yourself on God, your resilience would not be forced. It will be natural. So for me, because my anchor is God, my resilience threshold is almost natural to me. So what might seem to you as hard will come up to me as this is not new because I know who I am anchored on. A lot of people just need to start shifting their narratives, shifting their perspectives about resilience. You have to know that it is not about being strong all the time for yourself. You need to be anchored. You need to know the truth. You need to be able to speak the truth over your life, even when fear whispers, because fear would always whisper. So in the presence of fear, your resilience should speak louder. And your resilience can only speak louder if you are anchored on something that is more powerful than it. If you are anchored on the truth, so to say. And I'll also add this, community helps as well. So you need to be in the right community to build resilience.
You can say that
So
again.
if you feel like, I understand you, but I still feel this, I still feel that, that is why community comes in. That is why you need to have a tribe. That is why you need to be part of a tribe. So like the intentional living tribe.
You need people with the same understanding, perspectives, and values that
will constantly remind you of who you are anchored to. So it's not just about depending on yourself. It's not just about relying on yourself. So the tribe would help you stay in constant reminder of who you are and whose you are and who you are anchored on. You have to be very intentional about the things that you choose to do in life. Stay anchored, join a community or belong to a tribe that would help you stay in constant reminder of who you are.
And that's so true because you hear people say, I'm not that lucky, my
Right.
background. Oftentimes it's as simple as being around the right people. When you're anchored to God, as you just mentioned, it will lead you to finding your true purpose. And having the right people around you that will help you fulfill your purpose. Sometimes it's the very simple
Absolutely.
things like conversations that change your mindset. And I think that's what people take for granted, right? If you have three foolish friends, you are the fourth person.
Of
You know,
course.
if you have three foolish people around you, right? You're the fourth person. And that goes for people who are very purposeful. If you're around people who are great thinkers, who really know who they are, who are very secure in themselves, who are aware of their identity, you are likely to be the next person because conversations around all of these things will change your perspective about life. And when I say having a community, having the right community, another thing that I realized is sometimes we really want to do great things in life, but we live in self doubt. There are people that doubt themselves so much. Someone like me, I just have this mindset that there is nothing in this world that is too big for me to achieve. But I wasn't born that way. It had to start from having to unlearn certain things. And sincerely speaking, the preachers that I listened to changed my mentality. The books that I read changed my mentality. But it's not everyone that is very conscious to listen to specific preachers or to read specific books. There are people that they don't even, but in fact, once they are out of school, they don't even bother reading, right? So let's discuss. In the case of self doubt, where you're not sure of yourself, when you are uncertain about things, how can we take control of our narratives?
You have to decide. There's a difference between choosing and deciding. You have to
Mm,
decide to become an intentional author of your life.
mm,
I love the fact that you said you had to listen to a lot of people.
mm,
And I think I'll go a bit personal here.
mm,
Growing up for me was, I had very low self-esteem
mm,
because I grew up from a very low background. So that alone shaped my esteem
mm.
because I thought it limited me in a certain way. So I had to fight tooth and nail, fight my way out of that because I began to see that life will not bend to you. So if you don't decide to become an intentional author of your life, like you just see things pass you by and you think God does not love you. That's why you think, oh, luck or something. But no,
Oh my
it has nothing
goodness.
to do with luck. It has nothing to do with any of these things. You have access to everything by time because even the Bible says that do not be conformed, to the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So you have to stay in constant renewal because it's like a phone. You get outdated, it gets, obsolete. You have to re-update it. You have to make it serve you. So if you can update your phone, if you can, install operating system on your phone, why can't you do the same thing to yourself? Why
Oh
do
my
you think you
goodness.
have to be obsolete in life? Why do you think you just have to leave yourself like, oh, let me just leave myself the way I am? No. Even the manufacturers of your phone will force the install, they will force the update on you. There are times that an update will come on your phone, you are not even ready to install, but they'll keep telling you this update will help you fix bugs, it will help you fix different things on your phone. So you have to install it. You don't have a choice because if you don't install it, that means your phone will not operate on the level in which it should operate. But the moment you install it, it seems like you are on the same level with everybody. So your phone will operate the way it should operate. So that's the way life is. Your mind, your behaviors, your attitude, everything gets obsolete. You have to stay in constant renewal. You have to stay plugged to the source. One thing about life is life will hand you so many scripts, like so many scripts. You now have to decide which one do I want to choose. And in your deciding comes with discernment. Because if you don't have the spirit of discernment, in choosing, you will choose the wrong one. So having self-doubt, we cannot rule it out. But you can
Yeah.
start off in life with having
Mm,
self-doubt. But you should not
mm,
stay
mm,
in that self-doubt forever. You should become an intentional
mm,
author of your life and seek for
mm,
how to transform and how to be a better version of yourself. Like you just have to. That's why I started with deciding. Because if you don't decide, you are left with making choices. But, this is not a choose or a choice kind of, thing, especially when it comes to self-doubt, because self-doubt can either make or mar you in life. You see people that are winning, that seem like they're succeeding, they're having the life they want, is because they are audacious and they stood on the ground that, whatever it is, I'm gonna go for it. Design your life. That's the beauty of intentional living. It gives you the power to design your life. Like, you don't just live your life on autopilot. You don't just live it the way it comes. You become an architect. You become an artist of your life, and you sit down and design the life you want, and you see yourself living in it. You see yourself having it.
When having conversations with my sisters, I often tell them that, see, God has written a script for you, right? You
Mm,
are the actor in this script.
mm,
You are the
mm.
lead actor. I am not dismissing that there could be uncertainty at some point. I'm not dismissing that there are those rough and tough days where you doubt yourself. I'm not dismissing that. But I also ask, those times that you doubt yourself, are they assumptions or they are facts? There are certain things that I cannot agree to. And it's not that I'm trying so hard to prove a point. It's because I know that if I am not intentional about this role that I'm on, I will not just mess things up for myself, I will mess things up for my generation, the people around me. So life is more than just you thinking this is my life. There are a lot of destinies connected to this life. And so you have to be very intentional in your decisions in how you go about it.
Our life is like a movie script, and we have different scenes and different actors in it. But you know the beautiful thing? God has finished producing the movie called You,
Mm.
and is just waiting for you to
Do your part.
But you are
Yeah.
scared. You are scared to do this. You're scared to do that because you don't know what the end is. Why don't you leave the end to who already produced the movie and just act boldly?
The minute you know who you are, you become so confident and you don't even force it. It's how
Of
you
course.
understand who you are and it's how you carry yourself in that light. Quite a number of people are just roaming the earth. They don't know where they belong. They don't know who they truly are. They don't know what they are here for. There's a lifestyle. We have this mindset of be born into the society or into a family, go to school, graduate, get a job, get married, have children, raise your kids. Your purpose is missing. Like, just enjoy family, and the day that God calls you, call to glory. I'm just wondering, are you telling me that every single human on this earth, their purpose is to just live life like this? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. The problem we have here is we have a way of maintaining and retaining norms. Even when we know that this is not giving us the best result, we're very comfortable with having to just do things because that's how we met it. That's what we know. I was listening to Mrs. Ibukun, and I think, as I earlier said, who you have around you changes your perspective. And she said, as a woman, don't let your story end as just being a wife and a mother. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. One thing we also do as women is when we're being told the truth, we attack it because we're probably not living it, right? And so once we're told the truth, we're like, no, how can you say that? Do you know what it means to be a mom? Do you know what it means to be a wife? That's not the point. It's the fact that outside of these roles, you have a purpose.
Very true.
There is
Very true.
something you're built for. If we take away being a wife and being a mom, are you telling me that, I mean, you are empty? God gave every one of us a purpose. So every single person, there is something for you to do on earth. You have an assignment. But it's the way we try to just romance what is normalcy in our society that has actually led some of us to being stagnated in life and having all of
Exactly.
these
And
self-doubts. Stuck, exactly.
stuck in a pickup truck ready to choke.
Where did you get that from? Oh my god. My next question is, what does it mean to build a lifestyle one truly deserves according to your philosophy, to your philosophy of intentionality? Like, what is that intentional lifestyle?
So it means that, you have to intentionally design a life that reflects
Mm,
your values and the truth and not your needs.
mm,
So if you don't intentionally design a life that reflects your values, you would live your life to reflect your needs.
wow. Seriously, I need some time to process that. I feel like I need to pin that as a quote somewhere. Wow.
Yeah. It means to intentionally design a life that reflects your values and not your needs. The opposite of intention is entropy. That is default. So whatever you don't intentionally do, will be left to default. So that is why intention is too powerful to be overlooked. In every sentence, in everything, in every statement, in everything you do, intention must be there. So you have to intentionally design your life based on your values and not your needs.
Not your needs.
If you do this right here is where purpose meets with prosperity. So if you don't intentionally design your life, like I said, your life would tend towards default and your purpose is missing, your prosperity is missing. And it is when your purpose begins to reveal itself that your prosperity begins to reveal itself as well. So like we said in the previous question, why people are stuck in a pickup truck ready to choke is because they have not intentionally designed their life to reflect values and discover the purpose in which they are here for to meet with the prosperity they want.
It's funny how I'm hosting and I am lost in thoughts. I am lost in deep thoughts. You've just taken me to another realm entirely. Thank you.
So
please go ahead.
So you see why intention is very important. Like people don't know the depth of that word. If you do an in-depth search of that word, you'll be shocked at what you would discover. This is my definition of intention or intentional. As the founder of the Intentional Living Tribe, so this definition is not Google defined. It is my personal definition, and I define it as doing things from a place of knowing and understanding. And that is the difference between doing things and doing things with intention. And a lifestyle you deserve is one that is filled with peace, is one that is filled with purpose, is one that is filled with wealth. Like wealth is our birthright. I know people would relate to purpose, they'll relate to peace, but you see that wealth, they have aversion to it. Like a lot of people have aversion to wealth. The moment you mention wealth, it seems like, do you think it's that easy to get wealth? It is so easy to get wealth. All you have to do is to unlock your purpose. So the lifestyle you should deserve, or the lifestyle you deserve, is one that wraps around these things: your purpose, your peace, your wealth. Because when you live in purpose, you are bound to be wealthy. The only reason why people are not wealthy today, and the only reason why people don't have the life they deserve or the life they want, is because they are not living in purpose. The moment you begin to live in purpose, you begin to see the pathway to wealth. People say, oh, money is not everything. I get it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you money is everything. But money is not the goal. The goal is freedom. And what does money do? It gives you the freedom. So people have misinterpreted these things a lot. So majority of people don't want money because they think like rich people also cry. The blessings of the Lord make it rich and added no sorrow. There is no how you would get riches through your purpose and you will be sad. It's one thing that a lot of people have misinterpreted also is success. People think because you're rich or because you're wealthy makes you a success or makes you successful. Success is not a destination you arrive at. That's what people don't know. They think if I get wealth, if I become rich, then I'm successful. No, you are not successful until you live in the purpose for your life. And these people are the ones that are making success look like, or making wealth look like, is not a good place to be in. Because they did not get there through their purpose. They didn't get there with their purpose. They got there through strife or so. They got there through so much struggle. So now they've arrived there. They've discovered that, wow, this place is empty. But that emptiness is your purpose. I have a mentor. While I was on this journey of this assignment, he spoke to me that, you know what, he's there. He has everything. And he has the money. He has the connection, but he feels like he needs to do more. He feels a void because you already have the money you need and everything. He was like, yes, he gets it, but I don't get it. Like, there is a void. And I didn't understand it then when he was saying it to me. Till I got a deeper revelation with God as well, to see that why there is a void in people's life, why people are not happy even after they've attained that level of success, is because their purpose is missing. They are not fulfilling that purpose in which He has created them for. So you will leave that void.
It's like having everything you need, like the luxuries of life, but something is missing. Something doesn't just click.
And that's your purpose.
And that's your purpose.
I had a different plan for my life. I had like other things that I thought was the right way, because people are doing it. So I thought, oh, this is the way I should also go. But until God interrupted my plans, I am grateful now that He did. But when He did initially, I felt like, God, I need to achieve this. I need to become a successful fashion designer. I need to become a successful beautician. But The Holy Spirit is telling me that I get it. But you see, this assignment I'm giving you, that is what will make you most fulfilled in life. Because this is your purpose on earth. To build a lifestyle you truly deserve, you have to just live in purpose, on purpose, for purpose. That's just it.
Back to understanding your purpose and living in your purpose and feeling fulfilled, which is the reason why a lot of people, they have everything in this world. You can actually look at them and then you'd be like, what else does this person need? But they are not happy. And you've analyzed everything to the understanding of, our audience. It's as a result of the fact that you are not living your purpose. So when you have all of the luxuries of life and you still find yourself not being happy, it shows that you are not in your purpose. And one of the persons that I can relate to his work is the Dr. Lakunle. Is one person that I listen to. Now, the reason why some persons feel that unfulfilled is because they are living life just for themselves. You've been saying one thing in all of these conversations. Make sure that you are anchored. When we say be intentional about your life, we're not saying go and live your life for just yourself. You need to be anchored. But as long as there is no connection between you and God, you will not be able to understand what your purpose is. And Dr. Lakule said something. He said, in life, you don't pursue your goals. You position yourself for your goals. So you can't be anchored to God and know who you are, have a clear understanding of your identity, your purpose on earth. You can't go about pursuing things because everything is already given to you. You position yourself for it. You don't chase.
It's not in the chase. When you discover your purpose in life, you will know it's bigger than you. It's not for like someone else needs that purpose. So God created us to be like interdependent on each other. You have something I need, I have something you need. Until you show forth what I need. That is why Dr. Lakunle's point is very valid. Because if you are positioned in your purpose, those that need that thing will come and search for you. You don't go and chase them. They will be the one chasing after you.
Oh my God. This point.
So the moment you stay in that position which God has called you for, the moment you anchor yourself in that position, now you are positioned as that figure that needs to fill that gap that person is missing.
They just have to come
to you. So all you have to do is just make sure you are aligned in that purpose. And you will see like you would attract them and not chase them. So instead of chasing, it's best to just position and they would come to you because you will speak their language.
Naturally, they will, because you are now giving what we call value.
So when I hear people blame pastors and say, oh, all these pastors, I'm like, no, it's not the pastor's fault. It's the congregation's fault. Like, they are not getting it. The congregations themselves are not living in their purpose. That's why it's looking like they are enhancing the pastors, because they are helping the pastors themselves fulfill their purpose.
And so you can be a member of a church, right? Aside being a member, what you're doing is helping the leader of that church fulfill his purpose. So what about you?
Yes, exactly.
I'm glad that we sent this invite out to you, because this is so much knowledge that is being shared here today. You are given insights that are quite deep. So we would like to know, what role does your community play in personal growth, and how does the Intentional Living Tribe support its members in this journey?
So I'll start by saying that community is everything, because growth does not thrive in isolation. Like, you cannot grow in isolation. So the best way you can grow is to be part of a community or a tribe. And at Intentional Living Tribe, what we do is we champion clarity, we champion accountability, we champion grace. So it's not just about the things you would see like growth, clarity. No, we champion grace as well, because for everything you do in life, there should be a level of grace. So the tribe is not just a group, it's not just a tribe, it's not just a community. It is a movement of purpose-driven people that wants to rewrite their stories and live boldly, step into the best version of themselves, and create their dream life by design and not by default. The community is not just for mediocres. It's not for people that want to just come in and just be who they are. No, you have to come in and be who God has called you to be. You have to come in and step into your place on earth, because everybody has a place on earth. And if you are not aware on how to step into that place, then you are misaligned. So this community or this tribe is a movement of people who want to stay in alignment with the purpose for their lives, rewrite their stories, create their life by design and not by default, and build intentionally a personal economy for themselves where they can live, flourish in peace and harmony.
I think one thing that I'd like you to clear right here is the community or tribe just for women? Can men be a part of this community?
Of
Clear that.
So it's for everyone, really. It's an open community to both women, men, young, old. Like I say, regardless of your age, you can still step into your purpose and live fully. Like you can still max out all the potential that is in you on earth before you exit, regardless of your age. That's just the beauty of the community. So it's not like age bound, because it's a tribe that helps you max out your potential. It's a tribe that helps you live to the fullest version of yourself. And it's every area of your life.
So can you provide our listeners with one or two quick steps, right, that they can use in unlocking their potentials from today?
Yeah.
It's a new era for them.
Sure.
For someone who has not really understood what unlocking their inner potential or inner power is, this is a new era. So from today, it's going to be a new lifestyle entirely for them. So could just few steps, one or two steps.
The first step I would say is to pause and reflect. Like every day you wake up, pause and reflect. Then ask, what am I doing today? Does it align with who I am? Does it align with my purpose on earth? Does it align with why I am here? If you continue to ask that question, trust me, life will hand you the answers one day and tell you yes or no. That's the first step. The next step, your words and your thoughts. Ensure that you speak only the truth, like we said in the beginning. Don't speak anything that is contrary to who you are. Your words create your world. So it is what you say into the world that you would see. So you should constantly be intentional about the words you speak, the thoughts you entertain on your mind. So if you're intentional about the words you speak and the thoughts that are on your mind, you will begin to see that your life would, tend towards your words and your thoughts. So if your words are words that amplify, if your words are words that help you show up boldly, you will find yourself showing up boldly, unconsciously. And if the thoughts that are on your mind as well, are thoughts that are lifting, you will find yourself naturally walking in this dimension. But if it's negative, you would not have a choice than just to walk in that negative words that you speak and the negative thoughts that you entertain. These two things will help you jumpstart, yourself to living in your potential.
You talked about community, the importance of having the right support system and everything. When you find out that the people around you, they don't reflect your values, your beliefs, your perspectives about life. They are not people that you just wake up one morning and you can discard. So this could be like family members, friends. How do you navigate that aspect of your life? When you have people that they are not just in alignment with your values, what you represent on earth. They are far from everything that you believe in. You are concerned about making impacts in life, but they are small thinkers. How do you navigate such situations in a way that it does not hurt the person? At the same time, you protect who you truly are.
This question is a very deep one, and I can relate 100% because I happen to be in that space as well, where, the people, not like they are not there yet, not like they don't get it, but they are just refusing to step into that space. You are telling them that, this is possible, this is doable, just come into it, but they don't want to. So initially, I used to force it on them. Like I used to go into like banter, arguments, back and forth, like do this. Over time, I discovered that these people are draining me. Like I'm building my energy, like you're charging your phone and it's on 100 already. And you speak to this person and it drains you to like 0. Like you use your phone for a particular activity and it drains it to like 0. What will you do? So I think this is a very practical, question. Like you can answer it yourself. I'm charging my phone to 100 already and I used it for a particular activity and it drained it to 0. What do you think I will do going forward? It is either I choose to reduce the number of time I
don't even engage. That's it.
With you later. So I cut off the point I see that you are going to drain my energy to 0. Initially, I used to drain my energy. I found out that it was not the energy, I was draining myself. I needed so much effort to come back to 100 again. Rather than me putting in so much effort to come back to 100 again, why don't I just stay on my 100 and give you just 1%? Because it is natural. People like that are around you. It's inevitable. Like you can't chase them. You just have to learn to adapt. And how do you adapt? You have to intentionally choose you And this is where they might think you're selfish. Yes, being selfish is not a bad thing totally. Me choosing myself is not a bad thing totally, depending on the context in which you're using it for. So, like, I don't bait you when I wake up in the morning. I bait myself when I wake up in the morning. So you cannot expect me to be loyal to you 100%. No, I have to still recognize that I come first. So I have to intentionally choose myself over and over, like over and over, and intentionally surround myself with the right people. So rather than give you my energy to drain, I rather want like plug my energy to what will shoot it even way above 100, rather than losing it or draining it to less than 100. So that even when I want to come back to you at any point in time, is the excess on my 100 I'm giving to you. My 100 is still intact.
Is the
Exactly.
percentage that you
Is
just have
the
to spare
extra
that
on
you
it.
give.
Is the
Yeah.
extra on it, yeah. Still, it's still about making intentional choices. I just believe that there's nothing you want to do in life that that you can eliminate intention from. And like I said, is knowing and understanding. So it's doing things from a place of knowing and understanding.
You'll be misunderstood. And I think a lot of us, we have so much empathy, right? We care so much about how other people feel. Let me put myself in this person's shoes. If I do this, how would this person feel? We care about so much to the point that we don't really care about how that affects us. Just as you rightly mentioned, I can't be on a percentage, a very high percentage. And it feels like every single time I am giving you about 70% of it, I'm going to lose myself in the process. And so if having you around is going to make me lose what's probably has taken me years to put together, then I just better take a few steps back. And I also tell people that when it comes to community, friendships, whatever you call it, intentional is the word. You don't just choose people based on shared history. You don't choose people based on emotions. You don't choose people to be a part of your life based on looks. And that's the difficult part for so many people. Because they're worried about how is this person going to see me? How is this person going to react? So and I think another thing is living in your purpose also comes with, like you always say, being audacious, also comes with you having to, ignore certain things.
You have to shed some weight when you are living in your purpose, or when you are about to live in your purpose. So you see those extra weight, you have to shed it. Not everybody would go with you. Not everything will go with you. Not everybody would understand. Not even friends, not even family. I'm in a place right now where some friends don't even speak to me right now because of, certain things. And I'm comfortable with it because of the fact that I know I am living in purpose. You would get it, but maybe not yet, but you will get it eventually. But right now, allow me to fulfill this purpose. When I'm done, or when you see that she did this because of this, if you're able to get it and match up with me, it's fine. I'm still there. But if you're not, that weight is very important. Like, people need to know not everybody will go with you, and not all weights will follow you on that journey. So,
Sarah Jakes said something in one of her sermons. She said, if I have to follow you, if I have to be around you, I'm likely to lose heaven. I froze when I heard that. She said, I really want to be close to you. I really want to have you on my side. But the truth is, if I have to bring you anywhere close to me, I'm likely to lose heaven. There are parts of me, that it took so much sacrifice to let go. And what you do is you bring out those parts of me. I don't want to engage. I don't have anything against you. But you just may be an obstacle to my journey in making an impact in the world. I don't want to be that. I cannot sacrifice impact to make you happy. If that makes you feel a certain way, I'm sorry, you would have to remain there. It doesn't matter how long we've known ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not in this life together. Because when we get to heaven, everybody will stand and give account of their lives. I'm not gonna say, oh, I'm giving account of this other person's life. So I have to let go certain people and certain things. It's okay for people not to understand you, because your concern is that you are in alignment with God, right? That's what matters. And it's how lives are gonna be changed while you are carrying out this assignment. And I also tell people that, listen, if you live in your purpose, you see networking, you see all of the luxuries of life that you deserve, you don't even have to chase it. It will come to you. People will see what you give to the world, and they will come. How can people learn more about your work and become a part of the Intentional Living Tribe?
Okay, great question. So you can follow me on at Intentional
Okay.
Living Tribe, Instagram at Intentional Anu on Instagram, on YouTube at Intentional Living Tribe. And if you want to go deeper, the best gift you can give to yourself right now is just to buy my new book on the hidden secrets of wealth. That book is a key for you to unlock not just your purpose. It's going to help you work in alignment. It's going to help you identify with your identity, and it's going to help you create a lasting economy that is built on God's principles. And most importantly, it's going to help you live a life by design and not by default. I mean, the best gift you can give yourself, right?
For me, she took me to another realm, I'll just say. And so exactly. I mean, it's enough proof that you're going to really find value having to purchase that book and read it. And please don't just purchase it, read it. So all of our details will be added all of our details will be added to the caption of this video. You can just click on the links and then in fact send a DM, you know.
Yeah.
And whatever questions you ask, you get the answers or response that is needed. It's a whole lot that you have inside of you that is waiting to be out there. Before we wrap up, I'd like to know, right? Do you have a personal philosophy that you resonate with? What is it? What is your philosophy about life?
My philosophy about life that I just discovered is all work works. Everything you're doing right now is leading you towards a greater goal and destination. So be intentional. Be intentional about what you're doing right now, because all work works. It's either working on you or working for you. So if it's not working for you yet, know that it is working on you. If it's not working on you, know that it is working for you. And if it is working for you, that is perfect. So all work works. You just have to know the work that it is doing at the moment. So when you feel like something is not working for you, just believe that that thing is working on you. So don't discard anything.
Conversations with you are pretty different. All work works. If it's not working for you, it's working on you. So doing something and it feels like it's not really giving you the results you need, it is actually working on you to understand what patience is. Just it's building you up, and that's very correct.
Cracking it, yeah.
Oh my God. These are the kind of conversations that I love to have because it's the fact that people pour into you and you pour into them. And that's what relationships should be about.
You
Thank
for
you
having me too.
so much. Thank you. Words can express my appreciation to you. And I don't think I can really define the kind of session that we've had.
You
Maybe
can't
just
get
after
over
that, I'll be
it
able to
in a
find the
hard.
right words. I can't. We're looking forward to more networking,
Of course, of course.
and we can't wait to have you
Yeah.
here again. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this episode, and I can only say that Miss Anu has blessed us. I hope that we have gotten insights to understand that as humans, we need to live in our purpose, and that is not something you do annually. It's something you have to do daily and you have to do intentionally, as every one of us is created to make an impact. Listen, there is no one that is too small to make an impact. There is no season that you find yourself that is not the right season for you to make an impact. You don't need to have everything in this world to make an impact. You find yourself in the village, make an impact in the village. Make a difference. Let it be that people can connect to you, connect with you, and find there's a difference in their lives. There is some sort of positive change, in their lives. So we have finally come to the end of this episode, and I can't thank you guys enough.
Yes.
Well, to see more of these episodes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Straight Talk New York. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Straight Talk New York. For now, have an interesting and amazing week ahead. If you're watching this on a weekend, have a restful weekend. Bye.